King of the Road Productions proudly presents a Jones and Jessie episode of the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. Southeast Texas style. During the half hour, we'll pay tribute to the late, great George Jones in the Possum's old hometown of Vidor, Texas.
He stopped loving her today. Thank you.
George, that song always gives me chills every time I hear it, from the very first time.
Well, thank you. It's been a blockbuster for me, and I just wish we'd have a bunch more like it.
We'll feature the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. We'll also wear the Southeast Texas debut of Blaine Howard's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. And Jessie Ritter will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches.
King of the road.
Howdy and welcome to the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. I'm Jim King of the Road. Don't miss the shootout in the Sabine DSRA boat races at the City of Orange Boat Ramp on Saturday and Sunday, May 22nd and 23rd in Orange, Texas. In addition to 2 days of thrills and spills on the water, there'll be live music and a fireworks show on Saturday night. For complete details, visit orangetexas.org. Remember to take King's Country Internet Radio along for the ride to Orange, Texas. In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. Stream King's Country Internet Radio on your PC, smart speaker, mobile device, or in your vehicle with your Bluetooth connection. King's Country is streaming worldwide on TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, and at kingscountry.net. Stream the multi-award-winning and nationally recognized Jim King of the Radio show middays, Monday through Friday on King's Country at kingscountry.net. Never settle for less. Now stay with me as we pay tribute to the late, great George Jones. We'll get things started with Sammy Kershaw.
I've traveled millions of miles, hung with good and bad crowds. Been on top and way down low too. Paid off some long overdues, hailed the king and bad news. And I've been lonesome a time or two. I've been lost in the whiskey, did some running on empty. I've lived hard, it's all in the book. But the lines on my face ain't the miles that you see. It's just the route that I took. Change some things if I could, I just don't know if I would. My roads have been rough and smooth. Remember where I came from, just not all that I've done. There's not much I haven't lived through. I've been lost in the whiskey, did some running on empty. I've lived hard, it's all in the book. But the lines on my face ain't the miles that you see. Well, it's just the route that I took. Well, it's just the route that I took. Oh, yeah.
so lost. Oh, but now I'm found. I was blind. Oh, but now I see.
Family, friends, and colleagues of the late George Jones recently paid a very touching tribute to him at a packed Benoit Lewis Hall in the Possum's old hometown of Vidor, Texas. Those in attendance included George's oldest sister, Helen Scroggins Jones of Wildwood, Texas.
Well, I love my brother because he always looked after me and seen that I didn't need nothing.
Tell about his great singing.
Yeah, and I love to hear him sing up till he died.
And tell him about on your daddy's grave. You're going to tell that.
And I wanted the one that wrote Watching from the Window Up Above. My husband loved that song, and so I put it on his tombstone.
Now you want to thank everybody?
Huh?
You want to thank everybody?
Thank y'all.
Y'all remember when they came in here about an hour and a half ago? They took her over to the rocking chair. You know what she said. I don't need no rocking chair. Huh? She really did. How about that?
I don't need no rocking chair. You tear my tall argumentative care. I still got me on my thing. This gray hair don't mean a thing.
Before I go, I want to tell y'all one little story. Come on, girl. Okay. When I was 2 or 3, I can't remember how because I was so young, but we moved to a farm in Waco. It was a cotton farm. And every summer, George would come and stay with us for a while. And I can't tell you how many times my daddy told the story about when he would come. He had never been around cows, never been around chickens. And so when he found out that eggs and milk came from cows and chickens, he said he was never going to eat them again. He said his eggs and milk came from the grocery store. And that's what he wanted, the ones from the grocery store.
Still to come, we'll air Blaine Howard's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. We'll also feature the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. And Jessie Ritter will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches. But next we'll conclude our tribute to the late, great George Jones in the Possum's old hometown of Vidor, Texas.
You're cruising in the King's Caddy.
King of the road.
Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle has overcome a lot in the past few years with hurricanes, floods, a demolition, and the pandemic. But the Miller family has come back better than ever. Pine Tree Lodge, where the road ends and the fun begins, in the scenic setting of Taylor's Bayou. Dance to live music Thursday through Sunday, and stop in soon for fantastic atmosphere, friendly folks, and delicious food and drinks. Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas.
Orange Convention and Visitors Bureau presents Shootout on the Sabine DSRA boat races on Saturday and Sunday, May 22nd and 23rd at the City of Orange Boat Ramp. The Deep South Racing Association returns to the Sabine for non-stop high-speed family fun. And the best part? Admission is free with plenty of food and beverage vendors on hand. Races run 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days, plus live entertainment and a fireworks show on Saturday evening. For more information, call 883-1011 or visit orangetexas.org.
For the most authentic Italian cuisine without actually traveling to the old country, visit Frankie's Italian Grill in Beaumont. Frankie serves the finest Italian food in an elegant, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop in soon for lunch or dinner and dine on one of Frankie's famous Italian dishes while enjoying a glass of wine. Or have Frankie's Italian Grill cater your next occasion. Frankie's Italian Grill, recommended by Texas Monthly Magazine, is the winner of the local Reader's Choice Award. Frankie's Italian Grill, 105 Interstate 10 North in Beaumont.
is a George Jones tribute, and here's some of my exclusive interview from 2006 with the legend on a local radio station. George Jones, everybody, 2 Grammy Awards. You've been in all kinds of TV specials, Country Music Hall of Fame, and you have your own record label now with Bandit Records, your old record producer, Keith Stegall, huh?
That's right. And on this label, we can make a little money ourselves instead of the labels keeping it.
Yeah. That next project coming out is going to be a tribute to you.
Yeah, boy. We got one album that's in the works about rock artists and pop artists to do my songs, and that's going to be a tribute to me. We're looking forward to seeing that, and also a new album will be in the works soon. Hopefully, they will with Merle Haggard.
That is George Jones, the legendary George Jones, going to be here Friday night with Merle Haggard. Does it feel like you're coming home at all?
Well, sure it does. It always does, and we miss being around there, but it's hard to be in the kind of business we're in and stay there, you know. So we just really enjoying life now. We don't drink anymore. We don't smoke. We don't do all that stuff I used to do, and we just my wife Nancy and I just having a real fun thing anymore. It's altogether a wonderful life.
You stay on a natural high, it sounds like.
Well, that's what it is. It's definitely natural, and we're both just as happy as we can be.
Also speaking at the Southeast Texas tribute to George Jones at Benoit's Lewis Hall in Vidor, Texas, was songwriter Earl Peanut Montgomery. Earl wrote 73 songs that were recorded by the Possum, along with 31 George Jones, Tammy Wynette tunes.
And I've written a song. There's a new book coming out. My wife's the author of it, and they're going to make a movie from the book, and they want me to write the song, and this is what I've written. I don't have it finished, but because they're copying it with the media, you can't steal it because it's just now been copyrighted. Here it is, right here. The Legend of George Jones. That's the name of the book. I've got a good melody to this, too. I'm not going to sing. I'm going to read it to you, recite it. In 1931, a Texas mother gave birth to a son. She named him George, the singer of songs. In 6 days, God made heaven and earth. The 7th day, he rested from his work. And on the 8th day, he created the legend of George Jones. Songs began to fill the air like a Sunday morning choir. Sounded like angels singing around heaven's throne. The opera has never been the same since the announcer said his name. Like wildfire, spread the legend of George Jones.
He stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door, and soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today.
George, that song always gives me chills every time I hear it, from the very first time.
Well, thank you. It's been a blockbuster for me, and I just wish we'd have a bunch more like it.
King of the Road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.
Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. I only know you love her when you let her go.
One of the coolest things about you is you have connections with our own George Jones. You know, he's from the Beaumont area, grew up in Saratoga, lived in Vidor, Texas, not too far from where we're sitting right now. And you actually opened for him for a while.
Yeah, back in 2009 when I got hand selected by the family of Conway to play Conway in a touring musical, we actually went out for about 10 dates and opened for George, and I got to meet he and Nancy and visited with them over at their house, and you know what, they were just you know what, just like sitting here talking to you and I, man, just really, really good people, and just a real unique guy, and just one of those individuals where, you know, you could just hang around that guy forever.
King of the Road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee is the Southeast Texas headquarters for live music, dinner, drinking, and dancing. Honky Tonk Texas features a steady stream of the best live entertainment in the Lone Star State. Come scoot a boot and shoot some pool or shuffleboard. Make plans to be at the Honky Tonk Texas every Thursday for steak night. Delicious Texas-sized steaks cooked to perfection with all the fixins. And don't forget the world-famous Honky Tonk Grill inside of Honky Tonk Texas. See your favorite national, regional, and local artists on the Honky Tonk stage. Drink, dance, and dine on Friday nights at Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee, Texas.
You want some big old hot tails, you come on down here to Red Tails. They're as big as your hand, the crawfish are hot, the beer is cold, and the shrimp are as good as you're gonna get anywhere on the Gulf Coast. You tell Forrest Gump, you come on down here and I'll show you some shrimp.
When it comes to spicy boiled crawfish, shrimp, and ice-cold beer, one of the best-kept secrets in Southeast Texas is Red Tails. Hightail it down 124 in Finette to Red Tails. Dine in, to go, and catering available.
We love Red Tails.
Orange Convention and Visitors Bureau presents Shootout on the Sabine DSRA boat races on Saturday and Sunday, May 22nd and 23rd at the City of Orange Boat Ramp. The Deep South Racing Association returns to the Sabine for non-stop high-speed family fun. And the best part? Admission is free with plenty of food and beverage vendors on hand. Races run 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days, plus live entertainment and a fireworks show on Saturday evening. For more information, call 883-1011 or visit orangetexas.org.
King of the Road.
Howdy, and thanks again for watching the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. I'm Jim King of the Road. Still to come, Jessie Ritter will be in the Royal Spotlight, brought to you by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas. But now it's time for the Southeast Texas debut of Blaine Howard's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. As we all know by now, Pine Tree Lodge's official slogan is, "Where the road ends and the fun begins." They've been living up to that for generations. Cruise on over there this Sunday, May 9th for a great meal, an adult beverage or two, and fabulous live entertainment from Lane Allen. On Thursday, May 13th, Tim Burge will take to the Bayou stage. Casey Chestnut will be at the Bayou stage this Friday, May 14th. Stop in Pine Tree Lodge soon and tell Mike, Sandy, Norma, and their great crew that King of the Road sent you by. Blaine Howard's latest release, Rock on Her Window, was co-written with Doug Johnson. The story is one that we all know in some way or another. Young lovers sneaking out and getting into trouble, growing their love for each other and experiencing life together. Here comes His Highness Blaine Howard with Rock on Her Window as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville.
Rock on her window. Her daddy's sleeping, I'm hoping she slips out the back door. Two hearts running wide open. It's hush, hush, hush as I'm pushing that truck. She's steering the wheel and I'm pushing my luck down to the corner, round the bend. Firing it up and we're gone like the wind. Sometimes one night burns with the sunlight. Sometimes a right night turns into a lifetime. I can't believe that rock on her hand began with a rock on her window. Rock on her window. A weekend in Panama City. Her daddy said hell no, but mama slept hush, hush, as I'm pushing that truck. She's steering the wheel and we're pushing our luck. It's through Alabama, east on I-10, till the waves wash the innocence off our skin. Sometimes one night burns with the sunlight. Sometimes the right night turns into a lifetime. I can't believe that rock on her hand began with a rock on her window. Rock on her window. She says this time I can't see her, 'cause she's wearing a white dress. Says this time her daddy will bring her. Sometimes one night burns with the sunlight. Sometimes the right night turns into a lifetime. I can't believe that rock on her hand began with a rock on her window. With a rock on her window.
Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle has overcome a lot in the past few years with hurricanes, floods, a demolition, and the pandemic. But the Miller family has come back better than ever. Pine Tree Lodge, where the road ends and the fun begins, in the scenic setting of Taylor's Bayou. Dance to live music Thursday through Sunday, and stop in soon for fantastic atmosphere, friendly folks, and delicious food and drink. Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas.
Coming up next, Jessie Ritter will be in the Royal Spotlight.
Hey, I'm Jessie Ritter. I'll be in the Royal Spotlight next. Stay tuned.
Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches.
King of the road.
And my father would paint cars and trucks for people at the refinery, and my mom would tape them up while he was at work at the refineries, and when he got off, he'd spray them, and yeah, it's a way of life.
Of course, everything changes in life, but one thing has remained constant since the Bradley family started Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas, way back in 1962. You can still trust that they'll get the job done with fairness, expertise, and precision. Now 3 generations of Bradleys have carried on that legacy of professionalism that was started almost 60 years ago. Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here. 5 Star Feeds, located at 580 Highway 365 in Port Arthur, Texas, has it all, and they are locally owned by Tina Bean. 5 Star has all the feed you could possibly need, as well as hardware, horse saddles and tack, name brand Western and workwear, and much more. 5 Star Feeds in Port Arthur, Texas.
Do some good old-fashioned country music.
Is a burning thing. It makes a fiery rain. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. And I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, down, down. that ring of fire, that ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. Well, I fell for you like a child. Oh, but that fire went wild, and I fell into a burning ring of fire. Way down, 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 and those flames, they went higher. And it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames, they went higher. And it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire. And it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire, ring of fire, ring of fire, that ring of fire. Thank you.
And my father would paint cars and trucks for people at the refinery, and my mom would tape them up while he was at work at the refineries, and when he got off, he'd spray them, and yeah, it's a way of life.
Of course, everything changes in life, but one thing has remained constant since the Bradley family started Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas, way back in 1962. You can still trust that they'll get the job done with fairness, expertise, and precision. Now 3 generations of Bradleys have carried on that legacy of professionalism that was started almost 60 years ago. Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here. Advertising on the King of the Road Show HD is effective and affordable. For more information, call us at 748-9689 or email Jim at jimkingoftheroad.com.